Didn't PvT Bonum face Flagbot yesterday?
Yeah, and Flagbot, I think Flagbot got the better of him, right?
I'm not too sure. I don't quite
Well,
remember.
well, Flagbot won the whole night, so anyone who faced him, I assume, kind of had the lower end of the stick on that, but... Alright, so as far as... Looks like we got a Ramp Druid versus the Oil Rogue, so... I think that Oil Rogue is almost favored in this, considering they could get rid of any huge taunts and then just burst.
Well,
I don't know
I
how you
would
feel.
usually agree.
But the Wild Growth
but
does kind of tip it.
the Wild Growth into Shade of Naxxramas or the Zombie Chow, he just has so many options.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no way the early Blade Flurry can kind of recover.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see.
Decent, maybe a decent start. He's able to weapon up and then Deadly and then Shredder. So the Rogue has some good options. Can't clear this. I guess he could potentially clear the Shade, but he probably doesn't want to commit a Blade Flurry to it so early. So the Shade's going to be able to stay alive for a bit. Magical Duck realizing he has no nice plays on 3, so he's just going to go for the attack on 2 and attack on 3 to get a fresh weapon on. Kazan Mystic, no value, just played out as a 4-mana minion. And a Sap. Sap is going to be ready for whenever the Shade pops. Nakanoob's running kind of out of plays to do. So he's probably trying to get a Druid of the Claw next turn, but we'll see. Nice clean kill, or kind of clean. He took some face damage, but not a big deal. On the Kazan Mystic. Shredder's going to come out, able to contest the Shade. Ooh, and he get Nakanoob's top decking nicely,
Yeah,
and he
this
gets
is
the
a
Druid.
great curve.
Yeah. Turn 6 might be kind of dry, but yet he's got the Dr. Boom for turn 7, so not too much to worry about. Okay, so can he combo either an Abyss or an SI Agent here? I guess he could, if he only gets half of a Deadly Poison off, but we'll see. One mana short for a nice Fan of Knives, SI7 Agent.
So many options.
And he's going for it. So that means probably a face attack into the Druid. Or maybe he's trying to get an Abyss. Would keep his Shredder alive, but Defias Ringleader. Not the best minion. Kind of on the lower tier.
Right.
Nakanoob's probably going to go for the card draw into hero power. This is what we were talking with, a kind of a dry turn 6 play, but not a big deal. He's able to cycle, he's able to clear the board. Develop his own board if he throws down the Zombie Chow. Not too bad. Oh, he's going to attack
Right.
with the Shade. Okay. Now, will Magic Duck sap the Shade? He's seen one big taunt already, so...
I think it's better to just kill it.
Okay. Yeah, and he can kill it quite nicely with the Abyss. So we might see like a Deadly Poison Abyss, and then maybe an SI7 Agent. SI7 Agent to face. Now, for Dr. Boom next turn, sometimes you have to sap him, sometimes you just kind of need to kill him. He almost, considering he has 2 saps, I'm going to vote for that he just saps Dr. Boom.
This guy's tough.
Yeah. I think it's okay to sap Dr. Boom.
And then since he has the oil, do you think he'll just combo the oil off the sap and then just start hitting face? He only has 1 durability weapon, so I don't know if he... Oh,
He's got a long way to go.
he just top decked a Cobalt Gyromancer. So I am guessing
Wow.
that is to replace Dalnos. Worked
Yeah, so
quite
it looks
well
like he
here.
really wanted to net deck this.
Yeah. So Thalnos is probably replaced by that card, and it works great here. He's able to drop it and get the spell damage for the Blade Flurry. Yeah, it dies to a Keeper. Never want to leave those alive for a Rogue. Ooh. Okay, so Druid is running dry on cards, but yet has board advantage, has life advantage. Kind of a dry start for Magical Duck. He kind of needs a minion. He needs like a Farseer. He needs... Oh, okay,
He
so...
needs something other than the oil.
Yeah, and yet he does
Definitely.
throw the oil out. So that leaves it super vulnerable to Harrison Jones, but nacanoob is not that lucky. So he needs a Violet Teacher. I think that's his next top... That would be his best top deck. Maybe a Sprint, but he needs something. Belcher might just come down. Nakanoob's kind of feeling the pressure considering the 4-power weapon, but shouldn't be too scared. He's at 20 life. There's not a minion on board that's going to be able to get oiled up. South Sea Deckhand could be a threat, but... Okay, so he just goes for the Belcher and the Hero Power. Nice. And that almost... I think that's lethal with the Savage Roar, if he doesn't clear it. That's 5... Yeah, that's going to be lethal. Okay, so he does sap again. And plenty of weapon enhancements. Looks like he's going to go for a 9-power weapon. Wow, alright. Now
He's realizing he has no other way to win.
Yeah.
Unless he just starts going at it now.
So that means he probably needs a top deck of Sprint into an Eviscerate. He's already used one Evis. So he needs an Eviscerate from the Sprint to be able to win this. Or Swipe is going to kill him right here, right now. Yep. Perfect lethal for Nacanoob. He's going to win with 12 life. Alright, cool. We're able to hop into game 2. Currently, Nacanoob is up by one game. So Magical Duck needs to win 2 in a row here to take this best of 3. And he is running a Demon. Oh, this might... Okay, so Magical Duck could be running a Demon. He could be running a Handlock. We don't really know quite yet. Nacanoob is sticking with his Druid. Looks like he does have a nice start with the Innervate. No such luck for a Wild Growth yet, though.
Yeah. It would be really nice to have the Wild Growth, but does he keep his whole hand?
I think he mulliganed very early, so we didn't quite
okay.
see what he kept and what he got, but he does not get anything. But next turn he could throw down the Shredder. Okay, yeah, probably the Shredder right here, or maybe just a Hero Power, considering... I think you should do the Shredder. You're up against a Warlock, you kind of feel that it's probably one of those heavy-hitting Warlocks. So early pressure is probably a key thing.
I would agree, except that you can't really win by rushing your opponent down as the Druid. You just won't have enough damage in the end, especially without a 3-drop or a 4-drop or a 5-drop.
Okay.
So I think just hero power passing is okay. The thing is, actually hurting your opponent isn't going to help. What you have part of the combo, you just need to wait for the rest of the combo.
Okay.
What I hope that he'll have is he'll play the 4-drop and then turn 5. Hopefully he gets an Ancient Floor. That would set him up for a really good game.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Now, Handlocks have to play something turn 3 or else they'll overdraw if they just tap. So he chooses to go with the Dark Bomb to clear the board.
Right.
Nakanoob's gonna throw down the Shredder like Stan mentioned. And hopefully he gets an Ancient of Lore to really fit the curve nicely. First Giant is down. Druids generally always run Big Game Hunter. He doesn't quite get it, so he kind of feels pressured in playing Harrison Jones. He did not get the lore. Now Magical Duck. Okay, so he's not looking to throw down the second giant. He just kind of wants to keep his low minions as bait.
He could giant and then coin out the Watcher if he really wanted to.
Possibilities.
Yeah.
He could also taunt up the Clockwork Gnome with his...
Okay, so he's just gonna taunt. Alright, cool. That works good too. Now, Black Knight would be a great card, but not quite yet for nacanoob. Now, you were saying that he would taunt potentially the Clockwork Gnome?
Yeah, if he kept the coin and then he taunted the Clockwork Gnome and his giant,
Oh,
then
I see.
he would get back a spare part and he'd have the coin. So then next turn he'd be two cards more. So instead of it being 6 mana, it would be 4 mana.
Okay, yeah. Alright. Now, we talked about this earlier, but Clockwork Gnome is run in Hand Warlocks these days just because it works well against aggro, and plus it gives you a card in return, so it keeps your card advantage up, considering you can actually play the Twilight Drakes for extra health, and you can play the Mountain Giants. Usually, Mountain Giants are almost considered a dead card against aggro, but maybe the Clockwork Gnome makes it a little bit more viable, so that's kind of why he's running it.
Right.
And nacanoob, as far as his plays, is probably going to drop Sylvanas, and it will get a nice trade off pretty much anything on the board.
Time waits for no one.
He's going to kill the Mountain Giant straight away. Here we go, Sylvanas.
I have no time for games.
Now that probably... maybe that's giving Magical Duck kind of some hesitation on actually playing this next Mountain Giant. He probably needs to clear the Sylvanas before playing anything huge. So, he probably... yeah, he doesn't get anything good. He might have been looking for maybe like a Siphon Soul, but yet that still doesn't quite work.
He could clear the board with the Shadow Flame and then just not worry about it.
Okay, and just hand over the Argus, or actually just trade in the Argus, sacrifice it.
Yep.
But he's going to throw down some trash minions. Hopefully Sylvanas picks off something that's not really worthy. So would he hero power the Watcher first and then kill Sylvanas, just to guarantee that he gets something with a little bit more life? Or kill Sylvanas and then just kind of see what he gets?
I'm not sure. It's pretty awkward.
Yeah. Or maybe...
You could like hero power the Watcher and then like Wrath the Clockwork Gnome and get the 2/3, or you could do the opposite. You could Wrath the 2/3 and get the 2/1. Like, it's kind of up to him how he chooses he wants to get it.
Yeah.
He can also just use the Wrath on the Ancient Watcher and the hero power, clear it with the Chugga Chugga, and then keep his Sylve alive, but...
I must safeguard.
Looks like he's going to go for the Guarantee Steal on the Watcher. So a nice 5/1 taunt for him. That's probably going to trade really nicely into any like Twilight Drakes or Giants, so that's probably what he's thinking about.
Right.
And then the Silence
I
does...
think that's okay.
yeah, it's pretty good. And then the Silence, you're tempted to silence it, but then it'll be able to start whacking you. So probably just have to leave it there. Giant for
I think this
3.
this was a okay turn for the BGH Shadow Flame, but he can also just play the Giant.
Okay.
I really want to see the Savage Roar for the win.
Yeah, so with
Or
this
would it be a
Giant,
win? Oh, it
he's
wouldn't
1
be.
mana. Oh no, he has the Innervate, so he'll be able to use the combo here. But with the, yeah, I think this would be this would be lethal if he's able to get the Savage Roar, but not that lucky. Zombie Chow maybe just for the extra body, and maybe he maybe even wants to heal the Warlock up a bit with the Zombie Chow. So we might see That looks like he's gonna start with the trade.
Right, that's an interesting idea. We saw, if anyone watched I think it was Pinnacle, or I'm not sure, but Firebat was healing up his opponents with zombie chows and pretty well being able to close games just because they ran out of steam and then he could just combo on an empty board.
So, was he running like a mage with Echoing Ooze to get a lot of zombie chows, or was it just two
No,
of
he
them?
was running Druid.
Okay, so it was just 2 zombie chows, and he was just able to throw them out at the right times then.
Right, and he was able to control his opponent well enough that they ended up having to life tap so much that he could just combo so easily, you know?
Nice, okay. And nacanoob does get a nice clear, using the Force of Nature though, so that's kind of sad. Looks like he's going for a shot flame on the owl. Now, I am guessing that Magical Duck thinks that nacanoob has the combo in his hand, considering he used 1 Force of Nature to clear there, so that's probably why he's playing so defensively at 15 life. He wants to stay out of that combo range.
I think it's the right decision to do that.
Yeah.
You never want to lose, so just because of 2 cards in your opponent's hand.
Yeah. Yeah, nacanoob is able to develop decent board. And Magical Duck has some nice options with the Twilight Drake and the Molten Giant. But he's not able to taunt. He could heal, I guess, but that still probably doesn't save him.
Wait, did he use Force of Nature on the Giant?
Yeah, he used Force of Nature on the Giant, threw 3 of them in, and then cleared with the Snow Chugga to actually do the 8 damage.
So how is he gonna win now?
Magical Duck kind of read it as he might have the combo regardless, but maybe he's planning on getting the next combo in the next few cards, but he doesn't even have the Savage Roar, so he needs both those cards here
Yeah,
soon.
I don't really think there's much of a way for nacanoob to actually win this now. I wonder if he's gonna charge face for YOLO.
And that would be 11 damage, so we'd put him at 4. Oh, he's going for the trades.
That's like,
Time waits for no one.
So he's forced to play all his minions here, considering his spells are locked. He can start card drawing next turn with the Wild Growth. Not quite yet.
yeah, so he could actually use his spare part and clear either the. He could Shadow Flame this.
Oh yeah, that'd be
He could clear one of them.
okay. Now notice that nacanoob did not attack with a Sludge Belcher, so he's leaving his opponent purposely at 15 life. And that makes the Molten it's still efficient to play, but probably wants to play it a little bit cheaper.
I think it's okay to play it now, but I think it was good for nacanoob not to do it,
Yeah.
not to do any attacking.
Did you hear that, Stan?
Yep.
My cat just like threw down some pictures from the shelf, so appreciate that. But all right, so it looks like he's going for the Shadow Flame, or no, he's going for the taunt. All right. Okay, so he gets a nice clear and protects himself quite well. That's going to leave the double heal bot, so plenty of help allowed for Magical. Now, Magical's going for the card draw. He could get another one with Azure Drake. But, like you said, he doesn't really have any good win conditions. Now
That's awful.
Yeah, now he gets the Wild Growth. So we might see 3 cards drawn this turn. Ooh, boom, alright. He could throw it down right now with the Innervate.
He definitely should. He is so far behind that if he doesn't put it down, he's just gonna straight up die, and Boom's not gonna mean anything.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
Is that game?
Yeah, okay, so an attack.
It's not quite game yet.
Yeah, he can't juice up. He doesn't have any damage from the hand. Just quite. So he needs. Okay, so he doesn't get anything like a Dark Bomb, but the board will probably be cleared here. Maybe a Shadow Flame on the Drake once it kills the first half of the Belcher.
Right. I think that would be really good.
Yeah. And he has the big game hunter, so whenever Boom does come down, it's just gonna kind of get blocked out. Alright, cool. Yeah. And there we go. So nacanoob is pretty much dead. He needs a taunt, but that almost still won't save him.
Yeah, so although he did save the innervate, he didn't end up using it to smooth out his curve at all. He didn't use it to gain any tempo, and he ended up just keeping it in his starting hand and never using it for the entire game, and that alone is enough to lose you a game.
Yeah.
It's like having Deathwing in your hand. Like,
So do you blame that almost more on some bad card draw, so he didn't have the opportune moment to play it, or he just maybe poor player skill in recognizing that
it's definitely Nakanoob's fault for not recognizing a point that he can gain some sort of tempo advantage with innervate.
Okay. And we're just gonna see Jiraxis here to clear out the 2/2 taunt. Nice. So, and that leaves the game 1-1. Tied up series with 1-1. This will be the deciding game. So nacanoob is trying to pull this out. Magical Duck is trying to also pull this out. Neither of these guys have a win streak for the night. So this will be the start of a win streak for either player. And as far as decks, looks like we have a Shaman Mirror. So Stan, this might be your cup of tea right here.
I love it. I love it.
All right, cool. Now
I played both versions of this deck.
So,
the Nerubian Egg is very interesting, and I don't actually think it is favored in the Shaman versus Shaman matchup.
okay,
but
first
we'll have to
explain
see.
what the versions are. Like you're saying, Nerubian Egg spins off Magical Duck Shaman from nakanoobs. Both of them aren't playing Nerubian Egg.
Right, so I searched up the, on Hearthstone just now, the top-rated Druid deck is the exact one nacanoob is using. So I'm going to guess that this is an exact net deck of 11, what's his name? 11-foot point or something like that. It's very similar to the deck that I was running in my win streak, and it's got one zombie chow, haunted creepers, harvest golems, early minions, and it looks like Magical Duck is running a very similar deck, except with maybe eggs instead of harvest golems.
Okay.
The point of this deck is to control and gain enough tempo until you're able to unleash all your burst.
Now you're saying that in
So-
terms of Magical Duck's deck, right? Considering he has the Nerubian Eggs, so he's trying to control and get tempo, or both of them?
Players are.
Okay. So it's not like one's the aggressor. All right, cool. That works.
Right. I think we'll see who it will be the aggressor based on who has the faster start.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's Magical Duck right now, but
The
that's
lightning.
going to change around really quickly with the Lightning Star.
Yeah. Now he might wait for an Earthshock onto the egg, but it looks like he's gonna go with the Rock Biter just to clear out the Zombie Chow. That's gonna keep his totems alive as long as possible.
Always little time.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to use the Rock Biter this early. You always want the Rock Biter to be saved for the Alakir if he's running it, or the Doomhammer. Not sure what he is running in that regard, but
Okay. Oh, so an Argus will clear out pretty much
My shield for
the whole board here. Almost. Get the egg a little bit more active. And nakanoob's able to develop... man. 1 mana off of throwing a Sludge Belcher or a... Oh, he could coin them out if he needs to. Probably the best bet. He doesn't have anything to do on 4 anyway.
Right.
So
It's really disappointing he doesn't have an Earth Shock for the egg.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's like the ultimate shock target, especially if it's taunted up like this.
Yes.
Would you even commit a Hex to it? Do you think it's worth it?
No.
No?
I do not. I would think that a 1/3 egg that turns into a 4/4 is less intimidating than a 6/5.
Okay.
I think the Lothab or the Sludge Belcher, either one's fine.
Yeah. The board doesn't really trade well with the Sludge Belcher, so he chose to go with that one first.
Oh wow. Dr. Boom.
Yeah. Some great plays coming up with Fire Elemental. Oh, the Crackle. Alright, how lucky is he? Kind of lucky. Not the worst, not the best. He could have gotten a 3, but he chose he got a 4. So, not too bad.
I'm not sure I like this play.
You don't like the Crackle?
No.
It overloads him and kind of fucks up his next turn.
He's pretty well boned with the Lightning Storm coming down, and you can't play the Fire Elemental the next turn either. If he played the Piloted Shredder, he could have taken it a little bit slower. He could have left up his egg and all that, and he would have been able to trade pretty decently with the Fire Elemental coming up as well. But he's going to have turn 7 boom, so it's going to be a little hard for nacanoob to come back.
Yeah, he does have a Hex ready for the boom, but the boom bots are kind of the OP part. Nakanoob's... Ooh, a Hex on a 4.
Oh my.
Wow, alright. So feeling kind of intimidated, I guess, but doesn't want to develop... Oh, wow, alright. So Boombot's going to have free reign right here. The Flame Tongue Totem might be able to do some work if there are some more totems on board, but not that lucky. Ah, man. Does he throw down the Fire Elemental just to get some damage into it
I think
and have a good
he really needs to play Lothab with a totem.
Okay.
And hopefully he gets Taunt. Taunt would be beautiful. Beautiful.
It would block out the Boombot from dying and the...
Taunt would be good. Heal is okay. Spell is really bad.
Yeah, he already used his Lightning Storm. And he gets Taunt! Perfect. Cool. Magical Duck could kill the Taunt with the Flame Tongue Totem. Now, does he go to face with the Dr. Boom? Or... He should probably just clear the Lothab, right? He doesn't have too much burst.
The Lothab's gonna clear the Dr. Boom, so you really want to just go face. Oh no!
Yeah, we disconnected. Looks like Hearthstone popped. So, quick commercial break, we'll jump right back into the game.
What's happening, fella? It's good. Is Mike Will still in there?
No, he hasn't lived here for like 5 years.
That's good. That's good. He ain't around here no more. Listen, check this out, fellas. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all the no-flake zone.
Warm your frozen boots by the fire.
Listen, I know what you want. That's right.
Okay, we're able to get back into this. Sorry about that, everybody. So we got Magical Duck, and he is up against not a noob. Hearthstone crashed on us, so sorry about that. Back in the game as fast as possible. And here we go. Nice. Alright, so Dr. Boom is still alive.
Yeah, so it looked like he went face.
Yeah. Nice clean kill on the Boom from the Flame Tongue Totem Lothab. And
Wow, so it looks great right now for nacanoob.
yeah, he's got some heavy minions in hand, yet Magical Duck can start clearing a little bit. Maybe he'll get lucky with the Boombot. Now, StanTheYeti said that Hex is probably best used on Fire Elemental, so it looks like he's going to go for that. And the Boombot's kind of going for face, alright. Realizing that he is kind of at a card starvation point, so he probably needs to burst his opponent down. Does have 3 damage from hand, so he's like 6 damage off lethal, so...
The lightning bolt is really interesting. The only reason the lightning bolt was favored over Crackle before was because of Undertaker, mainly. When Undertaker was run in Zeus and Hunters, you pretty much needed the 1-drop spells, like, or you'd instantly lose.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting seeing him not want the... you get 1 more mana and you get the opportunity for 3 more damage. It's pretty good for a finisher.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about that? Playing the Drake and then attacking the Boombot. I personally would have just attacked the Boombot, let it hit whatever, and then play the Drake to keep the Drake high as possible. But I guess doesn't want to go for that.
Yeah, I think that his play is okay if Magical Duck has lots of cards, because you're always worried about burst with Shamans, but he only had 1 card in hand, and I really don't think... I think taking it on the face is really okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to see the downside of having the egg, I think. The egg prevents the lightning storm, but that's about all it does. It's not really going to do anything else. And with the fire elemental coming down with the Manatide totem, it's looking like a sealed game for nacanoob. Unless he wants to clear the Haunted Creeper, that's a little silly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you probably shouldn't do that. You probably should use the spider to trade into the dude with... Yeah, there we go.
I really like the taunt, so I would...
Oh, you
prefer
trade
he
in the
trades
Argus.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would.
So the taunt will just kind of eat up the Haunted Creeper.
The taunt should eat the totem, right?
Yeah, protect the totem, nice. Okay. Big Game Hunter's probably going to be fairly useless. Unless he's running like Neptulon. Do these guys play Neptulon? Probably not, right?
Nacanoob runs Neptulon,
Okay.
definitely.
Alright.
I don't know if Magical Duck does. Maybe he replaced Neptulon with the eggs. That's very possible, actually.
Okay. So a bigger, higher curve for nacanoob, and yet he's still kind of in advantage already, so whenever that does come down, it might be just GG.
Oh, another taunt to protect the Manatide totem's really
Yeah,
good.
he's going to really pump those out.
I do not want to see him play the...
Lightning Storm?
No, the Feral Spirits. I don't think you need... Your opponents played 1 Lightning Storm, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
So, a top deck Lightning Storm would be really bad for nacanoob, and it's the only way he's going to lose this game, is if his opponent draws it. So, just thinking, like, what card could my opponent draw that would win him the game? And can I win the game with what's on board right now? I think he can win with what's on board. He doesn't really need it.
Yeah,
But-
kind of... Oh, and he... he does
Yeah.
get it. Wow, alright. So nacanoob might regret playing those guys here soon, but not quite yet.
So this is what loses people's tournaments, right? They think, oh, RNG won't be this insane, but sometimes it is really insane.
Yeah. Now, will he silence the egg before playing Lightning Storm, or maybe even silence the Shredder? Probably not the Shredder. He can probably deal with the 2-mana guy regardless, but the 4/4 Nerubian guy,
Yeah,
I'm thinking he's gonna silence.
I like the egg. Oh, he likes the shredder.
Maybe he's just gonna trade his Fire Elemental into the Nerubian keyboard advantage, and he got lucky enough with the healing totem, so the dude will get healed back up.
I mean, the best you can get from a shredder is a 4/4
Yeah,
or or like a Doomsayer, but
he's not even gonna play Lightning
Oh.
Storm whatsoever, so he takes care of most of the board anyway, and he's
Okay,
Off to a great board.
so this makes sense. If he's not going to play Lightning Storm, he doesn't need to deal with the egg.
Yeah. And here we go for Magical Ducks. And he gets the Spelljar Totem. Wow, alright.
Beautiful. This is how it should be. You know? Don't play around Lightning Storm, then you're going to be punished by Lightning Storm.
Yeah. So he gets a Mad Scientist from the Shredder. Generally hella good, but not specifically in this matchup. Pretty useless.
Oh my goodness. So now Magical Duck isn't playing around Lightning Storm. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
What is
his
going
hedge.
on? These players.
He hedges bets a little bit with the egg, but it looks like it's gonna die anyway. So the Flame Tome, and here we go. Wow. Lethal on board next turn for nacanoob. These guys fairly deep in their deck.
Yeah, there's nothing that can save Magical Duck in his deck.
Yeah, he's,
Absolutely nothing.
yeah, and here we go. nakanoob's going to take the whole series with 15 life, and that sets him out as the first win streaker for the night. He's the tree topper currently, and will
Furious versus Rexar.
looks like standard mid-range hunter for Brewmaster. Nacanoob is sporting a Ramp Druid. So this one, I don't really know who has the advantage. Stan, do you kind of have an insight here?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
It is very simple. If Druid has Wild Growth, he has the advantage.
Oh yeah, well
It's-
yeah.
It's like every matchup.
Yeah, alright, cool. So, well, oh, it's a Face Hunter! Wow, look at that. Arcane Golems. Alright, so, Face Hunter. Okay, so I am fairly experienced in the Face Hunter. I thought this was more of a mid-range hunter, considering we saw the Lotheb. But the Face Hunter does kind of mean that I think that the Face Hunter kind of has an advantage if we don't see a lot of heal bots. Now, Druids don't really run a lot of AoE and such, so if the Face Hunter gets out with some nice Haunted Creepers and gets start rolling, we're probably gonna... Okay, so he doesn't get off to a great start, but
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for the Druid to win, I think.
yeah, that's... yeah. Now, I don't remember seeing any... Do you remember seeing any heal bots in nakanoob's Druid decks before? I don't think those really pop out.
Let me check the deck list.
Oh, okay, so you're just...
I'm almost 100% sure that he's with the Kanzan Mystic. It's the #1 deck list on
Hearthbone.
Hearthbone right now, and it looks like there is no heal bots whatsoever.
Alright, so that gives a huge advantage to Brewmaster Bro. Now, there's probably not even stuff like Ancient of War. We do have Druid of the Claw, that's an annoying taunt. There's probably a Sludge Belcher, but Hunters deal with those fine. They're used to dealing with taunts considering their face deck, so...
Oh, in this deck list, there's no mind control deck, so we might actually see.
Okay,
there
so
might be heal bots.
it's a little bit different from the... Oh, and he gets a Misha. That's pretty good here. He probably wanted a Huffer. Huffer does nicely trading against the board and does some damage, but Misha's pretty good. And nakanoob's able to answer with a probably... Okay, he's going to go with the Wrath and maybe an Innervate Keeper.
Yeah, I think that's a good play.
Yeah,
I would definitely silence rather than kill it.
Yeah, me too. Face Hunters don't really need a lot of Beast Energy. The only Beast Energy they usually have is Kill Command. They don't run stuff like a Houndmaster.
Houndmaster.
They don't... I don't even know what else you really need Beast
But
Energy
do we
for.
know if it's a... We don't really know if it's a face hunter yet.
What's the Arcane Golem, bro?
It's... Yeah, but it hasn't been shown.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah, you're right. Nacanoob doesn't exactly know. He could be think it's mid-range, but yeah. Okay.
So if it was a mid-range, because Nacanoob doesn't know, then he might want to kill it, but
yeah.
he's assuming there is no Houndmaster,
Yeah.
which is right.
Yeah, right. So he threw away the weapon and the Haunted Creeper just to get a Leok out. Usually, okay, so I don't think tracking is a very good card in Face Hunter, but usually it's used to get the last kill command at the very end. But he chooses to use it here just for mana efficiency. And he does get a nice 3-trap to go with it.
Shall I strike?
Now, if he gets enough... So he chose to go with the Animal Companion rather than the weapon. The Animal Companion only boosted his damage by 1 rather than the weapon potentially boosting his damage by 6. And if 9 if the trap. So, not the best choice, but yet he wasn't expecting the Druid of the Claw to come down and charge, so he didn't quite know that, but... nacanoob looks like he's able to stabilize kind of at 25 life, and an explosive trap will clear the board with no weapon up, so nice use there.
Was that actually the first sign of a face hunter? That explosive trap?
Probably, because he's only played... Yeah, and then here we go. The Arcane Golem's going to really tip him off.
Right, so he probably thought that it was going to be a freezing trap.
Yeah, and that would have been a nice trade with the charged Druid.
Right.
But, so, he didn't see anything like Leopardome or a Worgen or anything like that, so Stan's right in saying that that's the first indication. Usually it's Explosive Trap run in Face Hunter and then Freezing Trap run in mid-range, so it's a nice easy way to tell. Ooh, a Hunter's Mark. That's another unusual card. So he's running, so far I've seen 3 unusual cards. Lotheb, Tracking, and Hunter's Mark.
Yes.
Personally, I don't... Yeah, I guess they all work in a sense, but generally you kind of just want to have stuff that does damage rather than situational answers like that, but...
Yeah, I think that running Arcane Golems without Wolf Riders for kind of like a mid-range with extra burst is like okay, but it's kind of odd to have Wolf Riders and Arcane Golems and the Hunter's Mark all together.
Yeah. Now the Hunter's Mark might signify... Well, he's obviously playing Knife Juggler, we've seen that already. He's probably playing a Unleash the Hounds. The Hunter's Mark might signify something like a Snake Trap, but we haven't seen that so far. And he gets him down to 10 life. Usually this is the key point, and he does have a kill command, so you have to kind of think about nacanoob is kind of down to almost 3 life considering the kill command along with the hero power, so he really has to start... He has a lore to heal up. And I'll put him like at 8 life considering all the damage in hand plus the heal.
Right, so if he kills this with either one, and then he plays Sludge Belcher with the hero power, the only way that Brewmaster can win next turn is with double kill command, maybe a web spinner, and like an arcane shot, which nobody runs. So I think it's actually okay to do the Sludge Belcher here and then heal next turn.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way to think about it. And that will put him at 11 life, so double kill command won't take him out like you said. You need the extra arcane shot. So yeah, it looks like a great play. Okay, so he's doing it a little bit different order, maybe for mana efficiency, but hopefully not too big of a deal.
Does this set up? Maybe he's right. Does it set up lethal for
Okay,
next turn?
so we have 13 on board plus 8 from the Savage Roar, and that is
21.
lethal. Yeah, cool. All right, nice. So he read that and said, I can just do this 5 attack guy rather than the 3 attack and just put lethal on the board.
Well, he still would have had lethal with the hero power and the Sludge Belcher.
Okay.
But either way, it's fine.
Yeah. Maybe he feels a little bit more safe with a heal rather than taunt, but yeah, it works.
Yeah.
And here we go, boys. Nice little extra 2 damage if he wants it from the Keeper of Grove. So nacanoob taking it with 11 life. Boom, there we go. This is game 2 against these 2 guys. nacanoob versus Brewmaster Bro. And nacanoob is up by 1 game against this dude. And Brewmaster Bro sporting another Hunter. So not a face this time.
Oh.
Yeah, he's getting the Ragnaros in there with the Shredders, so this is definitely mid-range. No confusion there. Freezing Trap and Lotheb. Now nacanoob is doing the Druid again. He gets a fairly decent start. Oh, and he gets a Wild Growth and an Innervate. Great, alright.
I think that was way too lucky of him to not mulligan.
Yeah, he only
The
mulliganed
five
one
drops.
card, and he got the Wild Growth, so bravo to him.
But we can see how Brewmaster's plan went into play. Like, he had to mulligan for the taunts, and it ended up not being a taunt-reliant matchup.
Yeah, that's a good point. So nacanoob is thinking that this is the exact same deck that Brewmaster used last game, but that's not going to be the truth. But he still has a great start anyway, so like we said before, the Druid is advantaged regardless.
Against the mid-range hunter, you kind of want to not do the wild growth.
With the
I think you have a bit more time. Against the face hunter, you really want to get the wild growth out to get that first taunt. So
Yeah.
I think this change up by Brewmaster is really good.
Yeah. Now he has a nice 5-drop, but he won't have a next 4-drop, so it might be a little bit dry. He does have a nice hero power target if he doesn't get anything, but now like we said before, the mid-range hunter is a little bit more reliant on the beast energy with the Houndmaster, and we do see that in the hand, so he's probably not going to attack here. He's probably just going to play an animal companion, try to keep all his beasts alive as long as possible before he gets the extra value from the Houndmaster. Or he could just throw down a knife juggler and trade in his dude to get some knives spinning.
The Sludge Belcher really shuts him down.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's gonna do. I think he's probably just gonna play on curve. Freezing Trap is also okay because he thinks that he might actually think that it's still a face hunter.
Well, I mean, Freezing Trap, a innervated minion is pretty big.
Yeah.
So, and if nacanoob reads it as a face hunter, he will definitely attack into the Freezing Trap thinking it's explosive, and then bam, you get your innervated minion kind of cockblocked.
Yeah.
He does pick up a nice 4-drop, so he doesn't have to worry about hero powering. So now he has a great curve into next turn as well. Ooh, and a Cult Master. Alright. So this is definitely a token-based hunter. Okay, so Cult Master is kind of a card that you kind of saw when, Unleash the Hounds was nerfed with the buzzard and such, but it hasn't been too effective, but hopefully we'll get maybe 2 or 3 cards drawn from it this game. Sometimes Druids have a hard time even answering the Cult Master if they don't have a Wrath or a Swipe.
Yeah.
Where shall I strike?
The game's looking really good for the Druid right now.
Yeah. And then next turn, he could use Mind Control Tech if none of these... Okay, so he's going to trade these in. Alright, here we go. So Cult Master is able to draw 2 while probably killing off the Druid of the Claw once it trades in. Oh, actually, he'll just use the Keeper to trade, so...
Right.
Oh, and he has Defender of Argus in this deck.
That's a cool tech, but I don't think it really works.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a hunter card, to be honest. It's a great shaman card. It's a great warlock card, but it's used for just the raw stats in this game. It's not used for the extra synergy with any Nerubian egg or giants. So it's
As a hunter, you're always, or 90% of the time, you're going to be the aggressor, which means that they're going to just try and take all your cards off the board. And your cards aren't sticky enough like a zoo deck. They're not as sticky as a zoo deck, so it's not as effective in the hunter.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. As far as this play, Mad Scientist looks great. He has one trap in his hand, but he can get another one. He's gonna start by the Knife Juggler and then... Okay, a secret, alright. So that is... The Knife Juggler is gonna die regardless. He has 2 minions to kill it. One's gonna get eaten by the trap, but the other one will definitely kill it. Now, does he know that this is mid-range? Have we seen any indications of mid-range yet?
Yeah, we saw the Houndmaster.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Whoa! If he attacks that
I want
egg,
the taunt. I want the taunt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't attack that haunted creeper with a knife juggler on board. You're gonna have a bad time.
I think you gotta aim it at the knife juggler, just in case it is explosive.
But then he could be reading its snake trap, so he probably is leveraging against that by going face.
Actually, that's a good point. I
Yeah.
think you're right about that.
Cool, and he keeps his dude alive, some unlucky juggles, but he only had 2 juggles to really work with. Yeah, he could have just had 0 juggles by killing the knife juggler first, but he wanted to get a swipe out, so it works out.
Right.
Now, Brewmaster Bro has a Lotheb, maybe a Mad Scientist. Yep, cool, so he's... Can you get another trap up? He does have the second freezing trap in his hand, so this Mad Scientist might get 0 value whatsoever. We'll have to see what exactly his deck is holding.
Right.
Laura, I guess for card draw, he has 0 need for the healing.
Yeah. I think that's a good play.
Yeah, solid. Maybe he's gonna attack first.
Go face, definitely. I love that.
Yeah, but does he trade his Druid into the Mad Scientist after he's gone faced? Just to kind of test the waters with his secret? No? Okay, so I'll face.
He's got the combo in his hand.
That's a good
so
point,
he
yeah.
just wins next turn regardless.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about trading too much anymore. Now, Animal Companion has probably all 3 of them are fairly decent. Maybe he's winning... He's probably winning a Misha, to be honest. Okay, and he gets the Misha.
Now we gotta see the Defender of Argus take action against this combo.
Yeah, here we go. Defender of Argus, trade into the lore. Oh, he's gonna go start with the weapon. So, we're not quite that lucky.
So, now we lost. Oh well.
It looks like he is running another trap, so, yep, it is Snake Trap. Now, the Misha will eat up 1... Okay, so this is almost lethal if he innervates out hero power, right? Yeah, this should be lethal. The Misha will eat up 1 tree. That's gonna...
And then he'll have 6 damage on board, so he won't have lethal.
Well,
Misha gets 1, and then Freezing Trap gets 1, right?
oh, yeah. No, it's not Freezing Trap, bro. It's Snake Trap.
Oh, okay.
So this is lethal, because consider you have to think about he's at 15 life. And he has enough to hero power, so he has the 15 damage, if he reads this right. Now, we know that it's not Freezing Trap, but he might think that it is, so that's why he's hesitating here. So
I think, since he thinks it's Freezing Trap, I think it's okay to put down the... both... He could go the Druid of... Well, I think you should play BGH regardless of whatever he plays. But it looks like he's gonna go with your play, right?
But he doesn't Savage Roar first. So he doesn't...
Oh.
So he doesn't get the value. So that was kind of interesting.
Oh my god.
Okay, alright, so
what a disaster.
Yeah. Wow, alright, so I think he almost guaranteed. He probably thought there's no way that this trap is anything but freezing trap. So that's why I'm gonna savage or force nature here, get the freezing trap out of the way, and then work from it later. But it turned out not to be that. So his win condition is almost just like gone. And now this bow is gonna get 2 extra charges. It looks like.
Well, I think nacanoob just threw an easy win.
Yeah.
Even if it was freezing trap, I don't think giving up your win condition is a strong play at all.
Yeah.
I think playing a taunt is kind of like a counter to the freezing trap. You play the taunt, and then you can play your BGH because he's low of cards,
What do you think
and he
about
hasn't played Dr.
this?
Doom yet. But
Yeah, and he decides to go with the Druid Claw rather than the Harrison Jones with the weapon on board. So the weapon, maybe he's trying to bait out 2 draws with the Harrison Jones rather than 1. But if the weapon attacks right here, he's gonna get 0 draws.
I think it's like next to 0 chance that he's going to attack with the weapon, though.
Okay. All right, so we'll
Saying
probably
that,
just see a
Dr. Boom will be devastating. Or is he going to be fine with the Dr. Boom?
Alright, here we go. Dr. Room on board and Big Game Hunter to take it out. So before proccing the trap, it looks... Okay, he's going to go for the trap first. And he guessed right by attacking face. He did not... It wouldn't have mattered, but if he would have attacked Dr. Boom, he would have, you know, had his Drake killed and potentially had snakes comes out. So he goes for the face, tests the trap, and gets 2 draws from the Harrison Jones. And hero power onto a Boombot. Now, usually they kill BGH, but it kills, wow, perfect 4 damage on Harrison Jones. Wow, alright. Boombots clear the board.
That's really lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, all those were like really low chance to get the perfect 4 damage and then have the extra attack onto the BGH, so yeah. And now nacanoob is kind of running low on resources. He has a nice silence for Savannah.
I want to see him just go face.
Yeah, face.
Just go face, man.
He needs to. Okay, so if everything stays on board with the 2 Savage Roars, is that lethal? That's going to be. Okay, so we have 6. Yeah, that's easy Savage. That's lethal, easy lethal. Oh wow. Okay, even with that minion, is that still lethal? That's going to be 6 plus.
Yep.
Yeah, that's still lethal. Yeah, here we go.
He has 18 damage in hand with the 2 minions.
Wow. All right. Cool. Alright, so nacanoob takes that. Now, he won the first game, so this is actually just... He's completing the series here. He wins with 15 life. And that means that his win streak is up to 2 now, so bravo to him. It's nacanoob versus PVT Bonum, and we have seen PVT Bonum before.
I must protect the wild.
Okay, looks like he has that setting on, so we're going to have to message PVT Bonum to turn that setting off so we can actually see his deck. Hold on a sec. Let's describe it. And we might have to reload this have the setting taken place. So hold on a sec, guys. We'll get this fixed. We want to see the hands. All right, we'll reload this real fast. Hopefully, flip this setting. No commercial break, just reloading. Should be quick. Now, nacanoob is up by 2 win streaks, and he is going into his 3rd match. And we're able to see the hand for PVT Bonum, and he is running like a mid-range hunter. Ooh, interesting. He's got Direwolf Alpha in there, so definitely a little bit funky. nacanoob is using his Druid that he's used almost every game now, to be honest. He used a Shaman once, I think. So yeah, the Druid.
Once.
Yeah. Druid is kind of his staple deck. Worked well for him so far, and PVT Bonum's able to get a pretty good start, yet nacanoob is able to get the Wild Growth out, so... Yeah, he doesn't have a nice curve. He has a lot of his heavy drops, Cenarius, Ancient of Lore, no Innervate.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine just because of the wild growth, though.
Yeah, that's usually how it ends up. PVT Bonum's able to develop maybe a weapon, maybe a mad scientist.
It looks like nacanoob has actually climbed all the way to rank 2 with just this Druid deck, so he's got plenty of experience with it.
Nice, yeah, he is rank 2. 12 days in the season, so it's pretty solid. Now, did you look him up on some website with stats and such, or are you just...
No, I saw on your friends list.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks like his staple deck. PVT Bonum's able to develop a Shredder. Houndmaster, no value quite yet. Probably the Shredder, develop the board, and then Face for the Mad Scientist. Maybe he wants to trade it, get a secret up, but nah, not that. Ooh, double Wrath. Alright, so the Wrath with the spell power will do some serious work here, probably. We could see Wrath on both guys, get the draw, and then a hero power to finish off the Shredder. Or he might just go for a swipe. And that's going to leave the Wrath open to kill whatever comes out. Ooh, and he gets a perfect 2 health creature. And then as far as trap goes, let's take a look. Freezing Trap. Okay, so we got Freezing Trap up. The Drake is kind of a decent target to get Freezing Trap. It's not too big of a minion, and it plus has a nice battle cry, so you almost want to play it again in nice low matchups, but we'll see if he chooses to attack here. No weapon equipped, so Trap won't get procced by anything else.
You really want to wrap it, but at the same time you really don't want to play nothing after a Wrath.
Yeah, so like Stan said, he's debating whether the Ancient of Lore or the Wrath. And Knife Juggler is one of those targets that's like kind of scary, but there's not a whole lot of stuff to be scared of right now. There's not like a big Unleash the Hounds potential, there's not a Hana Creeper on board, so it's almost non-threatening right now, but could be a problem later.
Right. Freezing the Force of Nature isn't all that bad,
You want him to play the Force of Nature into the Freezing Trap?
but
For no one.
he has the Savage Roar, so I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say, considering he has opponent. Okay, so he's not gonna let. He's gonna let the Knife Juggler. Oh, and he gets a Kazan Mystic. All right, cool. So he's almost guaranteed not to attack this turn. Let the Kazan do its magic next turn.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's
Yeah.
going to be really good for him.
Now, to be honest, I think this is one of the first times I've actually seen the Kazan Mystic actually get its real value in a match in this tournament. So, and we've seen it maybe like once a night. I mean, Kazan Mystic's kind of popular in Druid. You kind of maybe see it in other decks, so it's actually going to get some work done, which is kind of rare.
For some reason, in this tournament, it seems like all the mech mages are really funky.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's not like
Standard mech mages.
yeah, and considering this tournament is kind of ladder based, you just kind of think you'd see more, but we're not that. And the trap does get stolen. It is a freezing trap. So
Safeguard.
he doesn't want to get the Direwolf Alpha frozen. Or he's just clearing the board regardless. He would have done that maybe anyway. Double Unleash the Hound, so maybe a Hound is going to get frozen here. Or he's just going to save it for next turn. Hopefully get some more minions on board. And this Direwolf Alpha is just bugging us out right here. I'm going to have to reload this game, get the Direwolf Alpha out of our face. But as far as Nakanoob's play, he could do a Wrath for 1, throw the Kazan Mystic in. He's going to go for a swipe, alright. That means probably a Hero Power next.
It's a great setup for lethal next turn.
Yeah, he has the double combo, he has plenty of minions. Now, he needs the Shade to live, and that's pretty much the only thing that he needs to live. If the Shade lives alone, that puts him 1 off lethal, so he needs 2 minions to live. Which shouldn't be an issue. A weapon could come down, kill something, but yeah, that's going to put more damage on the face for the hunter, so...
The Shade will grow 1,
Oh yeah, you're
1
right.
damage.
Yeah, so if the Shade lives alone, that will be lethal. And yes, there's no heals, there's no taunts, so this is... He would have to like unleash the hounds and then Houndmaster, but he's not going to go for that. And bam, there we go, down to 17 life. Freezing Trap is procced, so the Kazan Mystic will not die to the hounds. And there we go. PvT Bonum, or Nakanoob actually probably sees this. And just gotta wait for the actions.
Yeah, that Kazan Mystic really sealed the game.
Yeah, it did. I mean, he could have a lot of stuff that's frozen. Druids don't really have a lot of nice targets to get frozen. Most of their minions are pretty heavy, but here we go. Nice. Alright, wins with 18 life. This is a best of 3. Game 2. Nakanoob is up by 1 game against PvT Bonum. And PvT Bonum's going for the Druids. This might be an exact mirror. We might see a couple charge cards that are different, but so far looks pretty solid. PvT Bonum's able to start with a Wild Growth. Hopefully Nakanoob can mulligan into one himself. Now, Nakanoob has a good curve regardless. If he does not get the Wild Growth, he needs something, though, to keep against the PvT Bonum's own Wild Growth. He needs, like, a nice Innervate or something. Big Game Hunter might be a dead card in this matchup. Now, if this mulligan doesn't go through, that means that we've glitched out ourselves, so we might have to reload this. We'll wait a little bit longer. We'll wait for the timer to go out. Once the timer goes out, then we'll reload this. Then the boys might be like turn 3 or something by the time we... Okay, there it goes. That was kind of weird. It was really fast, but whatever. Oh, and he gets... he gets Zombie Chow, Wild Growth, and Innervate. The only sucky card is the Savage Roar, but I think the other cards make up for it.
I agree. I think he's going to be... I think both players have really good starting hands.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, both players really hitting the power hard. So PvT Bonum's going to start with 4 mana, has a nice drop, or decent drop, not the best, but it works. Now, Nakanoob doesn't have really any good drops, to be honest, so we might see a Hero Power to start his turns out. And PvT Bonum does not want to innervate a Sylvanas out quite yet. Probably pretty vulnerable to a Keeper. So he's just going to keep that in his hand. Now, he has some good options, but not great options. He wants a 5-drop. He does not get such... And he could go for a Keeper. Maybe does some damage. Maybe he doesn't silence anything. Nothing to silence.
It's really awkward.
Yeah. If he goes for the Sylvanas, nacanoob doesn't have a silence for him. Oh, he's gonna... Okay, I was gonna say, he better not silence that. Okay, so he just goes for the trade for the Kazan Mystic. And nacanoob gets a nice 5-drop. Alright, so kind of an advantage over the nacanoob. Yeah, the Sylvanas might throw an advantage over to Oh, and he gets double innervate, so better draw it now than later. He doesn't have a lot of great plays with the innervate. I guess he could use both of them for the Keeper of the Grove. Now, StanTheYeti, you mentioned in a previous game that the player there was one player, I forgot his name, but he didn't exactly use an innervate at the right time. Now, PvT Bonum is faced with 2 innervates and not a whole lot of great plays to use them with. Does he just kind of use them now just to have the board advantage, or maybe save them for Savage Roar, double Savage Roar?
I think when he's gonna get more draw eventually, and then you can use them. But for now, I think just playing the Sylvanas is perfectly fine.
Okay.
It's just so smooth. The point of innervates is to smooth out your curve or give you tempo. He doesn't really need either right now.
Yeah, alright. PvT Bonum's really quite puzzled by the turn, I guess. Alright, and he doesn't go for the Sylvanas, but he does save the innervates. And nacanoob could throw down Cenarius right here. That's now if he does Cenarius, does he do the +2 or does he do the taunts? Both are pretty viable. The taunts aren't really vulnerable to a swipe, so they might stay alive. He's going for Cenarius.
He's 1 damage off lethal, so...
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, 'cause he has the 9 mana and he has minions on board, so... Wow. 1 damage off lethal.
Time waits for no one.
Both players kind of roping their turns, wanting to really think about this. Now, Stan, does he go for the taunts? Oh yeah, he goes for the taunts rather than the +2. And that gives him... Okay, so he doesn't have 9 mana next turn. So
yeah, he might be able to even close out this game just with a
Savage Roar swipe. He could do Savage Roar and swipe, and that... Okay, so Savage Roar currently is 12 damage. The board... Okay, so Savage Roar is down to 10 damage. The board... He doesn't... I think he has it.
7, 9, 11, 11 plus 10 is 21. 21 plus swipe.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's a lot of
the
damage.
swipe... Yeah, he just missed lethal. Yeah, alright, so nacanoob could have had lethal there with the Savage Roar and the swipe, but... Just waiting to develop his board. I guess he's just waiting for turn 9, so he feels more comfortable rather than just winging the Savage Roar alone. He wants to get it with other dudes. And PvT Bonum realizes how threatening this board is, and he's just going to start clearing as much as possible. He's going to go back up to 15 life. Yeah, there's still 2 minions on board. 1 minion as the mind control tech gets stolen by Sylvanas. Ooh, Dr. Boom. Alright. That's a great setup for... Okay, so he doesn't want to go for that.
Yeah, the swipe here is super good.
And the hero power to nicely clean the board. He's still at 30 life. And he realizes how much of an advantage he has, so... Bam, there we go. Ancient of Lore almost saves him, but if he does, that does not help. He's dead straight up, right? There's no way this can be turned around.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
There's
so
no way.
if he Ancient of Lores, draws 2 cards, gets a taunt, maybe Ascension will help him, but he probably doesn't have Ascension in his deck.
He could get 2 of those like RoboCub things.
Oh yeah, those Robocubs, yeah.
And then he's safe.
Yeah. But we have not seen Robocubs we haven't seen Robocubs in any competitive deck.
No.
Alright, cool. There we go. So not gonna miss lethal early, but able to pull it out. And that is gonna give him the advantage, or the whole series. He wins with 28 life. And that puts his win streak up to 3 with a hell of a lot of life to work with. Oil Nub could potentially get 1 win here that could carry him through tomorrow or whenever he wants to fight again. So these guys are playing for real stakes, and we'll see who's able to pull this out. Looks like a Druid Mirror. Solid hand for Nacanoob with the Innervate and the Zombie Chow. Ollie Nub's not that lucky. He might still have his mulligan. Yep, there it goes. Ooh, and he's running Sungeon Shieldmaster. Alright, so a little bit different list between these guys. Both are starting with an Innervate. Now, Innervate probably go down for the Shade. Nice turn 1 Shade to have it start growing. Cool, Innervate Shade, turn 1. And Nacanoob is able to answer. He could. Just has a Zombie Chow. He can't really do anything fancy just yet.
Yeah, the Zombie Chow is fine.
Okay. Next. Oh, he's gonna coin something out. I think he's trying to calculate how much mana he could get, but he's not quite able to get the 5 mana needed, so Zombie Chow is almost the only choice. Nice. And Shade is able to keep growing. Ooh! Ow! And he top decks a Wild Growth, turn 2. Perfect. That's going to give him the 4 mana next turn that he needs for Ascension. And here we go with the coin innervated Azure Drake. Start some card draw. So card advantage for Nacanoob. Ooh, especially with the lore. Yeah, Ollie Nub is able to get fairly decent board here and mana advantage. So basically whatever he top decks, he's probably gonna end up playing. Shade just straight away trades into the Azure Drake. Is he scared of swipe when he does that? Or maybe he's scared of a Wrath? Well, Ollie Nub's
I'm not too sure.
yeah, that Shade trade was kind of interesting, but he's able to lay down another Sungeon. So 2 Sungeon in this deck's kind of interesting.
It's kind of odd. The Shade has the opportunity to take out so much, and the Azure Drake is kind of like a 4 mana body. I wouldn't really consider the Shade that you kept since turn 1 like that valuable, you know? I'd consider it way more valuable.
Yeah. Maybe his idea was, you know, the Azure Drake was coined and innervated it out. You know, if I deny this, I deny a lot of future turns from the Druid, so maybe that's what he's going with. Able to clear out the Harrison Jones.
I must safeguard the net.
And develop a Keeper of the Grove, just kind of as the naked Keeper. Doesn't give a silence or kill anything.
Where shall I strike?
Not gonna be able to develop a huge taunt for himself. And Ollie Nub does have first piece of the combo, but his opponent's at 20 life, so that might be relevant here shortly if he's able to get a little bit more face damage in and clear out these taunts. But for right now, he's kind of just... he has too much mana, not enough stuff to do. And okay, so does he keeper? Does he trade this stuff in maybe with a hero power? So if he keepers for 2, he can trade in the other keeper and then hero power. Actually, he probably has to do Ascension. Yeah. Trade in this.
It's really awkward for him.
Yeah.
Time waits for no one.
Looks like he's kind of forced to do the keeper for 2.
I must safeguard.
Senjin's gonna go into the dude and then the face. Now that leaves a nice solid board. If nothing, okay, so the swipe will clear stuff. But he could just do an Ancient of Lore, and that's a little bit off lethal. Maybe about 3 off lethal. But the swipe is just going to deny that possibility. I think he's thinking that if he does top deck the Force of Nature, he doesn't want to really deal with it. Ooh, and he gets a Dr. Boom. Wow, perfect. Probably one of the heaviest cards in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, lethal's a real threat, but the Shade can almost trade with the Dr. Boom, it just needs a little bit more juice. And the hero power is probably not the best option to get that extra juice. So does he heal here? Oh, looks like he's going for the card draw. He gets first half of his combo. Looks like he's going to trade both guys in the Dr. Boom. Wow, alright. Now, this Shade is probably going to stay alive. So that means that whenever Force of Nature is top decked, the Shade will be able to do the extra little damage to get the opponent to the magical 14 mark and kill him. Yeah, he's at 14 right now. Boombots do the extra little work. And Ancient of Lore is maybe forced to trade into a Boombot, could just straight up die to it. Keeper of the Grove's probably going to go down first to see what absorbs. Ooh, okay, so one to face, that's probably not too bad. Alright, so we have not seen a Force of Nature yet. We're 12 cards into the deck so far. So hopefully, so the taunt does kind of prevent that. Azure Drake allows a little bit more card draw. The Wrath maybe for 1? Maybe he's forced to Wrath for 3, and then that leaves the Druid of the Claw to actually trade with the Azure Drake. Or trade with whatever it needs. Probably wanting to keep the Druid of Claw on board rather than the Ancient of Lore, considering it has taunt. So we might trade the Azure Drake with the Ancient of Lore for nacanoob. Stan, would you Wrath for 1 or Wrath for 3 right here?
I'd do the Wrath for like 2 because it's.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
But I definitely think that he needs to draw some options.
So he chooses not to do anything, just hero power.
I mean, he could have wrapped the 5/4, and I think that would have been a really good play, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Ooh, and a swipe to clear out the Azure Drake. Leave both your guys on board.
Mm-hmm.
And if these both go face, that means lethal is on board for nacanoob, given the Savage Roar. So this lore almost has to card draw, but he... Okay, so he gets an Innervate, that's a good start. And he gets a Wrath. Alright, so that's not the best. That is still lethal then, even if he clears like the Shredder. Would that? No, his... Okay, it's just gonna Wrath for 3 twice, it looks like. Oh, Wrath for 1, wow, alright. So, is there anything Ollie Nub can do to really prevent a lethal? Doesn't look like it. So, as far as on board...
No.
Yeah. On board we have, it looks like... 13. And he's able to... Innervate Hero Power. Okay.
Okay, so he's going to have 9 damage plus 6 is 15, so he's...
Yeah, he needed the extra minion, but... So Ollie Nub avoided lethal.
4 damage off.
He avoided lethal by trading in the Shade.
So I would play this really safe, and I would just go Ancient of Lore heal.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna card draw. So he might still do your play, just see what he gets first. Always want to card draw first. Sludge Belcher, alright. That's even almost safer. He has seen both keepers, so this Sludge Belcher won't get silenced. Both keepers almost had to go for that down for the 2 damage, but looks like he's going to go for StanTheYeti's play. And heals up. Ollie Nub is trying to get something on board. He's trying to get something to stick on board so he could get a huge Kel'Thuzad turn. Pinging the face to get him down as low as possible. Ooh, Force of Nature. Alright. And that has to be lethal even though... Yeah, that should be lethal even though he has a taunt to go through. And here we go, let's see it.
12 plus 7, that's 19 damage, so he's 2 damage over lethal.
Okay, cool. Nice, nacanoob. Just taking everyone out. Takes that one with 16 life. This is a best of 3 currently with nacanoob up by 1 game. See if Ollie Nub can pull out his own variation. Ooh, we got a shaman for you, StanTheYeti. Looks like a mech shaman. Now, so usually mech shamans, the aggressive style, usually you probably don't see antique Killbot, but he is running like Rockbiter weapon with Flame Tongue Totem, so this might be the aggressive Whirling Zep-O-Matic version.
Yeah, so this is probably... I don't know if this is... No, it's definitely not Mech Shaman.
Okay.
So, right after DVG was released, people started playing Annoyotron to be their main defensive tools, and then sometimes play the Senjin Shieldmaster. The problem with this deck is that it's built around Undertaker, right?
Uh-huh.
And Undertaker doesn't exist anymore, so this deck is a lot worse than the current control shamans.
Okay. Now, so you think this is just like an Undertaker spin-off where he probably has majority of the cards in there, yet he took out the nerfed Undertaker, maybe through...
No. So this deck was really popular when Undertaker was popular in Hunter and Zoo.
Ah, I see, this is anti...
So you needed
okay.
the extra defense, like Senjin and the Annoyotron, to fend off the Undertaker.
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, I didn't quite get it considering that I saw no death rattles, but yeah, alright, I got it. Cool, so nacanoob is not able to get an Innervate or a Wild Growth just yet, but he has a nice minion curve. Ollie Nub also... he has a solid minion curve. He had to totem up, but...
What to do?
He can probably just put down the Flame Tongue Totem if he wants.
Okay.
Next turn.
Yeah, and considering he has a Doom Hammer with a Rockbiter, I mean, that's a lot of pressure, so he might want to
Right.
maybe push the damage right here. And he Oh, okay.
It's fine not to push the damage. You haven't seen a Wrath yet, so...
Yeah, Rather is kind of the bane of the Flame Tongue Totem. Looks like 2 is going to go onto the Noitron. And Flame Tongue Totem is going to get the totems working to kill the Keeper, but he doesn't. Looks like he's probably just going to drop another totem. He's probably hoping to get a taunt, and he gets Searing.
This is awful.
Yeah. Now
he just gave away the Flame Tongue Totem and gave the Keeper super value.
Yeah. So he drew to the Claude to kill the Flame Tongue rather than the Shade, so... And yet, Shamans don't really have a great way to deal the 4 damage, so it's not really that vulnerable.
Oh, easy. You got Earthshock. It deals with it super easily.
Well, now it does. Yeah.
The
Oh, he's gonna...
Earthshock deals with the Shade really well usually, but he doesn't have Earthshock in hand, so...
Rock Fighter's decent. Him down a little bit, but... Now
I have no time
Sylvanas...
for games.
Keep his Druid of the Claw at 4 health rather than 3. Hex is probably, yeah, nice solid. But he has a Dr. Boom, so the Hex sadly won't be used on the Dr. Boom yet. Probably one of the better targets to use it is the Sylvanas. Whoa, if he does that, that means that he's going to trade into the Sylvanas with the Senjin.
No, I think he's going to trade into the 4/4 and then Hex. He just doesn't want the taunt to block him.
Yeah, the frog to... okay.
And then he can either totem... Oh, he can totem and hero power. Or zombie challenge totem, is what I meant.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Nakanoob's going for the Dr. Boom. Trades really well with the board if he's able to get a Boombot onto the 1, but Oilum's probably not going to allow that.
The 5/1 trades with the 7/7 really easily, though. Just play your Fire Alley, and then you've got a good position.
Yeah. So you're thinking Fire Ellie's maybe a little bit better than Lightning Storm once you get the Dr. Boom down to 2 health?
Yeah, they're just 1/1s. Like, you don't want to Lightning Storm a muster for battle, right?
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're against Druid, you don't really have too many good Lightning Storm turns anyway, right? Might as well... Do you think you should just use it while you can?
I don't think so. Druids are really powerful late game, and as much as you do have a control deck, you have a control deck with no draw.
Okay.
So, like, this plays fine. It is fine. Because you do have the Flame Tongue Totem, you are protecting it.
Yeah, so maybe he did go with the Lightning Storm just because he had the Senjin. But...
Yeah, maybe his plays better than mine, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, a nice Noitron to double protect the Flame Tongue Totem.
So I think you should just go face at this point.
Oh, guess not. He doesn't think face is... Well, yeah, I think face would probably be better considering the card advantage, but he doesn't quite see it that way, I guess. Ooh, nice Wrath to come in to kill the Flame Tongue. Or the Bubble, whatever he deems fit. Maybe he's trying to think about Cenarius, but probably not the best play considering your 2/2s just kind of die to the Flame Tongue Totem. Goes for the Wrath.
Yeah, see, he did the right play, I guess, with trading, because now his Flame Tongue Totem is dead. But since he wasn't going face earlier, he doesn't have a way to close out the game, right?
Okay.
And that's a problem with a lack of experience with these decks, and especially with the Noyotron, is that you don't have the late game power to contest with these giant ramp double combo or like double Savage Roar Druids. Oh, we see a Power Mace though, so it is kind of a hybrid between control and mech.
Yeah, and hopefully, so the mech that Oil Nub does have on board will probably not live to get buffed. But if he goes like for Cenarius, it might just still live. He needs like to hero power it down. So he might, to actually do the hero power, he might go with like Azure Drake and Shade. That's probably the best move.
I wonder.
Now Olinub did have a Rockbiter weapon to go with his Doomhammer, but he had to use that to clear the board a little bit. But it looks like a Force of Nature, Savage Roar. That would...
It's kind of interesting. He sees that he has no more cards left, so he thinks maybe that he doesn't need it to be used as a finisher. He can instead clear with it.
Okay.
Time waits for no one.
Honestly, I think it's just one of many plays that will win him the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it doesn't... He could have done a lot of things, but he's leaving his opponent at 20 life with no combo and huge board advantage, huge card advantage, so...
Yeah.
Olinub's able to top deck a great Dr. Boom, so... Hopefully this can spin him out of the game. Now, the Boombots will get buffed here, so that's kind of super lucky. And a Big Game Hunter for Naka. Wow, the top decks are real. Alright, so the Big Game Hunter... How does he do this trading? Because usually sometimes players like do some trading into the Boombots and then Big Game Hunters at the very end just to make sure that it lives. But he has plenty of base life, so he's probably going to do some trading first. See what the Boombots hit. All the Boombots are going to hit face, then the Big Game Hunter is going to come down.
Yep, I think this is the right way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. It's really solid.
I've got the beast in my sight.
That leaves plenty of card draw and plenty of huge minions to play next turn if he needs to. Another mech, so almost these mechs feel like they're just thrown in to get power mace value, because this shaman seems like it's fairly weapon based. It's down to 15 life, so one minion off the board for getting mind control tech value. Usually you're almost guaranteed to get something against a shaman, but he's just too far ahead in this game for it to matter. Cenarius does trade very well against the board, so could be going down.
I think the 2/2s will just be taken out by the Doomhammer, though.
Yeah, that leaves his... Oh man, his Azure Drake might just die to the totem then, so... Maybe he could have just gone phase with it, but... Ooh, a Hex! Alright, so that works. That's probably what he needed. So with that Hex, that means Olinub will pretty much almost clear the board except for the Zombie Chow and a Frog. Cool, and he still has a 4 durability Doomhammer. Ooh, a swipe. Alright, so...
And there's a Zombie Chow on board to heal him as well.
Yeah. So if this game could potentially swing around, because on Mystic, kind of a dead draw, but kind of useful. If this game does turn around, nacanoob might be regretting using that Force of Nature earlier to clear all that stuff out. We're not quite there yet.
Right.
Shredder, decent, but not the best. Maybe just one attack, hold the other 3 durability, or maybe just attack to face. Okay, just attack to face it looks like.
Well played.
And with the Druid of the Claw, that is lethal. That's 10 damage exactly. 11 if you want a hero power. And there we go. nacanoob is just taking out everybody today with 20 life. Is nakanoob's 5th opponent. If he wins this, he will go up to a 5th win streak, and that will have him be the win streak leader. StanTheYeti was the previous win streak leader with 4, but nacanoob is definitely trying to contest that right here, right now. He is against Sea Lover. Sea Lover has been a contestant in our little games for a while now. Looks like we need to see his hand, so let me contact him to make sure that we can see his hand. Trying to work with him to get that, okay, looks like he... Okay, we're gonna reload this real fast. Hold on real tight. We need to make sure Sea Lover's hand is visible to us. Yep, looks like we got it, so we're gonna follow nacanoob. Let me just answer him. Cool, we got it. And they should be in, what, about turn 3? Cool, there we go. So we got mid-range Paladin against nakanoob's Druid, which has been just wrecking everybody tonight. He is a monster with this Druid. Like you can see, he is up by 4 win streak. He has tons of life, and Sea Lover is just going at it. Oh, I mean, Sea Lover has to respond to this huge Druid that's just been tearing apart everyone tonight. Okay, so Sea Lover has a decent start. He had the hero power, but it looks like he's able to get a weapon out, start dealing with the board. And let's see if nacanoob can... As far as development, next turn nacanoob could get in Harrison Jones in response to this weapon. Sometimes you want to save Harrison Jones just for the smaller 1/4 weapon just to get extra card draw, but this weapon is the more threatening. So that's what might we... Yeah, he's going for the coin. Here goes Harrison Jones.
That belongs in a museum.
And bam, there we go. Nice, and he has a perfect curve next turn with the Sludge Belcher, so huge swing right there. And he even trades it in, considering he recognizes that turn 5 is a big turn for Paladins. Sea Lover is able to outdoor down to Harrison, making it pretty much non-threatening. Develop the 1/1, and the Shade is still growing, so Sludge Belcher is going to protect the Shade. Shade's going to start whacking at face, get him down to the lethal 14 damage for nacanoob. Sea Lover looks like he can develop a Sylvanas if he needs to, but he doesn't have a great turn. He might want to Equality Pyro just to get rid of the board. Equality Pyro could be saved
I have no time
for
games.
later. Looks like he's going to do Sylvanas. Equality Pyro is probably going to be saved for when bigger stuff like Ancient of Lore is up on field, which could be here soon. Because on Mystic, maybe you play here, maybe he wants to silence Sylvanas to make sure it doesn't get out of control. Maybe now he uses the Shade to trade into it, and that will leave a great board for nacanoob. Not the most powerful, but still with a huge advantage. Alright, he is deciding not to worry about Sylvanas and just going purely for face. He recognizes the power of having all these minions on board for a Druid with Savage Roar, with probably 2 Savage Roars, and just go for it. Equality Pyro might be what needs to go down here. After Sylvanas trades into the Sludge Belcher to also get the slime vulnerable to the Equality Pyro. And here we go. Nice board swing for Sea Lover. That's going to allow him to develop maybe a token. Yep, there we go with the token. So next turn could be Tyrion, and Druids have a kind of a funky time dealing with Tyrion considering the Sylvanas was silent, so Tyrion might go unchecked here. Great card draw for nacanoob. Ooh, and he gets some nice heavy hitters. And I vote Tyrion. I want to see a Tyrion just completely just start smacking, especially with the weapon. Maybe the Dr. Boom, he's kind of feeling the power of the Dr. GG, but... Oh, perfect, we see a Tyrion. Nice, nice, alright, cool. So another silence needs to be... Nope, no silence. Yeah, he has plenty of options. He could swipe to get the bubble off, and then he could Wrath for 1 while trading in his Ancient of Lore. So Tyrion will probably die here, but the weapon will probably go into effect. There's no way to remove the weapon just yet. Harrison Jones was already used, so on a Hammer of Justice or whatever it's called. So weapon's gonna get some value. Not gonna really thinking about this turn.
Well met.
I personally think that he should go for like, okay, so he's gonna go for the Wrath for 1, start the card draw, and that probably means that he's gonna hero power into this rather than. Oh, now he gets a silence. Oh, okay, okay, so that's a way to block the weapon out. Looks like he just wants to go for the Force of Nature to clear it out. So he's recognizing that the weapon's not too big of a threat. He has huge life advantage, and he is just gonna go face. Ooh, and a Black Knight. Alright, so no taunts just yet for the Black Knight to be utilized. But the weapon, he doesn't want to use it to clear the Keeper or the Ancient of Lore, considering the 14 life is a possibility, and the 9 mana is right there, but he's seen one part of the combo, so he almost might not be scared of it. He might just throw down the Dr. GG, attack the Ancient of Lore, and then hero power. That's going to put 5 minions on board, which means the mind control tech will get some value.
Let me think.
Sea Lover definitely taking his time. I personally like the Dr. Boom and the hero power, and then have the weapon do the dirty work of clearing, considering he's already seen the one the one Force of Nature, but we're gonna let him take his time. Equality, alright. So he is really scared by lethal. He does not want to take 5 damage to the face. He's just gonna set up his own damage, set up his own board, and will Dr. GG come down for nacanoob in response? Start Wrath for 3, and then probably a swipe. That's going to put the boom bots to the face. Let's see how much damage they do. 1 hits for 1, second one hits for 3, so kind of below average, but mind control deck does come down. We did not see the 5 minions on board like we thought, because we saw an equality clear with the token, but Lothob's going to come down. Looks like an Aldor Peacekeeper onto the mind control tech. And maybe a hero, maybe a Ashbringer attack into the face. Alright, so face. Alright. Maybe a Dr. GG turn. Ooh, Big Game Hunter comes in hand for nacanoob. A little bit late, but he's able to clear the Dr. Boom with the swipe and a Wrath anyway, so not too big of a deal. But Big Game Hunter is probably a dead draw now that we've already seen Dr. GG. Maybe we'll see a Dr. Boom here for nacanoob, but he's got to kind of be scared of the board. So currently the board has 9 damage plus the weapon attack, so it has lethal, but his Paladins don't really have damage from hand, so he's not probably scared from anything that the hand might come from. Ancient of Lore, maybe for healing? Yeah, the arrow signifies healing. And there we go, up by 5 health. Maybe the Big Game Hunter just as a body, it won't get any more value. Nothing in the Paladin's deck is bigger than Dr. GG, and it's already been taken care of. And that's what nacanoob goes for. Lay on hand's a nice little recovery thing. Now I think that he's going to use the weapon to trade into the Ancient of Lore, considering he just healed up. But we'll see kind of what he does. He could use the Lothab. He's got plenty of options. Oh, he's going to go for the weapon. Clear the Ancient of Lore, puts him at 16. Oh, Recombobulator. Ooh, here we go. And we get a King of Beasts. Am I saying that right? Let me make sure. You have King of Beasts, card that's never played, so you always kind of have to make sure you have the name right. And a swipe with spell damage is going to clear the 2/2s, leave the guy at 1. No hero power possibilities, so King of Beasts is down to a really shitty minion considering he's a Battlecry style minion, so he doesn't get any extra attack. Sea Lover does have some great options. He can... Yep, Heal Bot, nice. Sludge Belcher, great. And that gets Nacanoob down to 17. So Black Knight is still kind of waiting for a Druid. I can't remember how many Druid of the Claws we've seen, but there should be at least one more. Hopefully there's one more for the Black Knight to come down on. But looks like we're going to see Dr. Boom. But Big Game Hunter is ready in Sea Lover's hand for Dr. Boom. That's probably why he's hesitating to play it. Maybe he's hesitating to play it considering there might be a Mind Control tech. That would leave the Azure Drake and Dr. Boom's minions kind of vulnerable to that. Alright, there it is. Hero power to clear out the King of Beasts. And Mind Control Tech is a vulnerability, but we don't even know if Sea Lover is running it. He does not have it in the hand, but he does have the other... Ooh, change an attack of a minion to 1. Humility could be used on... I'm guessing the Humility might be used on the Azure Drake right here, to be honest. You can just... There's only one Big Game Hunter target, so you kind of want to use it right here, right now. He does the trading before laying down Big Game Hunter, and Humility might still get played. Let's see it. Does he go for it? He's thinking about it. Nope, he does not go for it. Alright. So Savage Roar in hand. He already had to use the Force of Nature earlier, so Savage Roar might be alone here, but he has plenty of minions to start throwing out. Yet there's a huge board for Sea Lover, and a swipe. I think both swipes have already been even used for Nacanoob, so that's not an option. Cenarius is probably a great... Oh, he's going to go for Keeper of the Grove. Get minions on board. Sylvanas, awesome. That'll work. Now Sylvanas is probably going to get Humilitied. That's probably a great target to get Humilitied. Still no Black Knight value for Sea Lover, but he's always got it in his back pocket whenever he needs it. Nacanoob. Great board here. Now, stuff is obviously going to get cleared, but if it doesn't get cleared, it's almost a lethal. But we won't even worry about that. We're not going to worry about that. Ooh, Humility and Kodo for Sea Lover. Alright. So first he has to figure out how to deal with the Sylvanas Mind Control effect. He's going to... Okay, so he's going to... Looks like he's going to ignore it, to be honest. If he trades that guy in, he's going to ignore it. Usually you want to keep those guys on board so the Sylvanas has potential to steal it, so Sylvanas steals something really crappy, but looks like he's going to trade it in. Trade in most of his board. Allow Sylvanas to... Okay, yeah. Okay, so he trades in all of his board into Sylvanas. Leaves just the token, and he realizes that this game might go super slow, so he leaves, passes his turn with 8 mana, but some great situational cards. He can kill whatever he wants with the Humility Kodo. And finally, a Druid of the Claw. Awesome. So Nacanoob might be tempted to throw the Druid of the Claw here, but he's probably thinking really suspiciously, what the fuck is in Sea Lover's hand if he doesn't play anything with 8 mana? So he might be reading the Black Knight correctly here. We'll see. But he has 2 minions in his hand that give a taunt. If Black Knight is used on Cenarius' little 2/2 taunts, that's probably good for Nacanoob, that it wasn't killing a Druid of the Claw.
What to do?
Nacanoob thinking about this. I hope that he goes for Cenarius and not Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw will just get eaten up by the Black Knight, but we'll see what he goes for. Druid of the Claw, Cenarius will also protect his 2/1 from the attack
Time waits for no one.
of the 1/1. Did he disconnect? No? Okay. Looks like he was just grabbing dinner or something. He was just kind of AFK. Not a big deal. Ooh, another true silver champion. Black Knight finally is able to come down, but not on a great target. Looks like a true silver champion to kill out the other guy, and now if nacanoob just goes for face, that means that Humility Kodo will be killing Cenarius. But if Cenarius kills the Black Knight, that means that, probably the true silver champion will kill Cenarius. Oh, he's gonna trade it. Now he feels safer throwing down the Druid of the Claw. He's gonna throw it down and charge. Alright. Okay, so that puts a shit ton of damage on board, so that's definitely lethal. But stuff is gonna get cleared here. He can't. Sea Lover needs to taunt, he needs to kill. He can't do everything in his hand. He's 1 mana short. So we'll see if he prioritizes the Sludge Belcher or the Kodo kill. Looks like he's going for the Sludge Belcher and probably an attack onto the Cenarius. Now, is that still... That can't be lethal. No, that can't be lethal with the Savage Roar, so this keeps them alive. Both these guys are super thin through their deck. nacanoob currently has 5 cards in his deck. Sea Lover currently has 8, so Sea Lover, if he's able to hold this out, he will win the fatigue. nacanoob Nakanoob's probably just going to throw down some minions, maybe do a hero power, but he can't really clear too much of the board. Let's see what comes out of the Shredder. Hopefully we get some Millhouse, hopefully we get some Succubus, or maybe we see some Doomstader or Novus Engineer, or something really boring and standard like Frostwolf Grunt. Oh, Savage Roar right here, right now. Okay. That means the Sludge Belcher is guaranteed to die, and we get an Imani Berserker. Cool. And the 3 damage is going to go to face or clear the token. Token it is. Alright, cool. Now we're probably going to see a Kodo. The Kodo can kill 3 things on the board. Let's see what it hits. Shade. Alright. That's probably a pretty good target to hit. See, Clover looks like he has board advantage. Oh man, this game's so close. We have a lot of. Oh, is that lethal? Yeah, that's lethal. Awesome. Wow, nakanoob's able to win with 15 life. Wow. All right, cool. Game 2 against nacanoob versus Sea Lover. This is almost getting insane. nacanoob has been smashing everyone today. As you can see, his win streak is up to 4. Sea Lover is trying to put a stop to it. He's going to go with the Warrior into the Druid. That is generally considered a bad matchup for the Warrior, but we'll see if Sea Lover can pull it out. Sea Lover got really close last game. He had a great Druid or Paladin control play, but Savage Roars and such were just able to kill him. He got too low, and nacanoob just had too many big minions to deal with, but we'll see if Sea Lover can do something with this control Warrior. Interesting. Okay, so nakanoob's keeping the Harrison Jones considering he is up against a Warrior. Warriors always run weapons, they always run Deathbite, Fiery War Axe, all that crap. We might see a Gore Howl, probably not though. Sea Lover has a nice slow start. He does get the Acolyte early, so that's going to help him ramp up his start. nacanoob gets a Wild Growth off the top. Nice. So nacanoob is definitely going to curve into this very, very, very smoothly. He has the Innervate whenever he needs it. He's probably going to Innervate the Ancient of Lore, I'm guessing, in a few turns, but next turn he will have 4 mana, so all he has to do is wait 1 more turn after that to be able to Innervate the Ancient of Lore, so I guess nacanoob is really thinking about how to play this Wild Growth turn, but it's an obvious play to everyone watching, so we'll let him take his time. He knows what he's doing, we'll just let him do his thing. Sea Lover, let's see, does Sea Lover coin out the Acolyte of Pain? Oh, he gets an Armor Smith, okay. So, Armor Smith or Acolyte of Pain? We'll see what he goes for. I kind of vote that he does the Acolyte of Pain, considering there's nothing on board that's threatening. and he could always do the armor smith later. Oh, okay, so just gonna armor up. I think he realizes how slow this match might go and how much he needs the armor to actually deal with the Druid's huge minions, but Nakanoob's not having the great forward drop. He does not get anything like a Shredder, but so he's just going to go with the hero power. Next turn is almost guaranteed to be Ancient of Lore just to get the extra pressure out. Looks like Acolyte of Pain turned for Sea Lover. Armorsmith. Okay, so he's really spinning it different. Oh, okay. Weapon up. I mean armor up. So nice slow game from the warrior. So we got some resident sleeper time going on here, boys. Here comes the Innervate Ancient of Lore. Ooh, that's scary. Ooh, into another Ancient of Lore. So that means next turn we can see some Druid of the Claw. Wow, alright, so super scary start from the Druid. Almost the perfect start considering you got both Innervate and Wild Growth at the start with double Ancient of Lore. So Armorsmith's forced to come down. Armor up. I think Sea Lover's almost playing this game too slow, but you know, he knows what he's doing, hopefully. We'll see if this pays out for him. Fiery Warax is able to kill the Druid the Claw, but that's gonna put him kind of down, but as far as development after that, he doesn't have a whole lot of minions. He has a lot of like weapons. I think he has 3 weapons in his hand, so he's able to play one finally. Looks like he's going to coin out an armor up. Yeah, okay, that works. He's coining out his armor up. And he's getting his Deathbite into the range of actually killing the Ancient of Lore, but Harrison Jones is going to completely block that out, yet Sea Lover has plenty of weapons to use. That is kind of scary using weapons against this Druid though, considering you know that he runs combo. So the health is going to keep going down for the warrior. And like I said before, usually this Druid is kind of a counter deck to a warrior style like this, so probably not the safest thing to play. The Sylvanas could be kind of scary here. The board does not directly trade very well with Sylvanas, considering she will just die and then steal something, so I think it's a great play to do Sylvanas. I don't think you really want to weapon up right here, considering you're just going to take more face damage, and face damage is not that great considering the Druid is going to go into turn 9 here shortly. And you do not want to be at that magical 14 number mark when turn 9 hits. Sea Lover, I vote for Sylvanas. I don't know what the chat feels, but hopefully Sylvanas is the play. Dr. Broom could be the play after that. I think he was hovering over Kazan Mystic for a bit, so we might want to just get the armor up with the Kazan Mystic, but we'll let him do his thing. He's going to rope for us, so we'll thank him for that later. He goes with the weapon and the execute. Okay. That's going to put him down to 18 life. He has a nice strong weapon to hit whatever comes out. And first half of the combo is up, so looks like Nacanoob is just going for the card draw. And the minions, so if this goes on... Okay, wow, alright. We got Grom in the hand. Nacanoob is nowhere near Grom range, so that's not going to be played for a bit. Dr. Boom is a great play here. He might even just attack just to get the Boombots to potentially kill. I think it would be an awesome play. Oh yeah, he's going to go for it. He's going to attack. He's going to make sure the Boombots do kill the Shade. The Shade is almost guaranteed to die here. He's hesitating. Okay, so he's going to attack face and let the Boombots do its work. Hopefully the Boombots kill both creatures, but we'll see. Okay, so they kill one. Alright, so he missed out, but it's not too bad. Now, the combo is not in hand. But drawing for 2 and then trading in your Azure Drake is a great way to deal with Dr. Boom. I think the reason that Sea Lover did not attack the Azure Drake because that would have put him at perfect 14 life. So that's probably what he was thinking there. Ooh, and another Savage Roar. So that means that Nacanoob might just go for... Wow. Okay, so he's just gonna Wrath for 4, keep his Drake on the board, develop Kazan Mystic, and that is almost lethal. That is lethal with the Savage Roar, with the swipe. Fiery War Axe is almost not helping too much. Sea Lover is like, oh my god, this matchup is so favored in the Druid that Sea Lover just almost signed his death warrant by playing this. Nacanoob has been playing Druid all night, so if anyone wants to challenge the Druid that Nacanoob is playing, I definitely think that you should go for it. It's very predictable in playing this, but Sea Lover taking his time. He's probably best bet is go for, I don't know. I don't think there's anything that can save him. Alright, let's calculate lethal. So, Savage Roar, 3 mana. Swipe, that's going to go up to 7 mana. He'll have, so he's going to have hero power. Okay. Execute's going to go down, so Savage Roar's not going to get too much value. Okay, so, alright, so no more lethal. Sea Lover just putting himself lower. He has a shield bearer. He's back up to 12. Hopefully no top deck. Okay, Innervate, that's kind of scary. That means that whenever this Force of Nature does get top decked, it can be used with the Innervate and the 2 Savage Roars, so probably just an Ancient of Lore here is what Nacanoob is going to go for. Maybe he wants to silence the Acolyte. He could do both if he wants to Innervate, you know, the Ancient of Lore along with the silence, so plenty of options. He might want to save the inner. Okay, so he's going to start with the card draw, probably smart. Or he might just swipe the Acolyte. That would be very interesting. Okay, so he's going to start with the card draw. Some nice heavy hitting minions come in hand. He's going to go with the Innervate Druid of the Claw, probably. Now this weapon is just a Fiery War Axe, so it's not Death Spy. It can't deal with stuff too well. Okay, so he's just gonna silence the Acolyte. That leaves the Druid, the Warrior with only 4 cards. And Warrior loves cards. Ooh, gets a nice shield block. That's probably gonna be played here, maybe with the Shield Maiden if he doesn't get anything good. Cruel Task. Not useful. He's already used 2 executes, so Cruel Task might be best saved for the Grom, to be honest.
I can take
But
the hit.
yeah, we'll have to see it. Going. Okay, so he's going to clear out this dude. Leave as much Savage Roar potential as possible. So Sea Lover's still in this. He's still got plenty of stuff to work with. Nacanoob has some great options as well. The swipe's probably going to get played. Maybe a hero power to clean out the extra 1 health. Leave his Ancient of Lore at full health. He's got 2 swipes, so I don't see him really saving 1 right here. Okay, so as far as the turn, I vote that we go for a swipe, Zombie Chow. Well, maybe not Zombie Chow. Maybe that's even wrong. Considering he wants to get his opponent as low as possible, Zombie Chow probably is even just a liability. So maybe just a swipe, Druid of the Claw. But that doesn't leave room for hero power. So yeah, man. Okay, so I see what his predicament is. He's gonna go with the swipe. We might see a hero power just to clear out the other dude. And the Zombie Chow is going to come down. Alright, so he's going to hedge the risk against the Death Rattle effect, and he's going to say, I can get more value out of this Zombie Chow than the actual healing will be done. Considering he has 2 Savage Roars, that's probably a very smart bet to make. Kazan Mystic's going to go down with a Sealed Slam with an armor up onto the Ancient of Lore. And bam, there we go. Zombie Chow is almost just helping out Sea Lover at this point, unless it gets protected by the taunt. The taunt could protect it from dying, so that means Sea Lover will have time getting the health from it for a few turns, so it's going to attack. Okay, looks like the second swipe is going to go down. We might still see Sylvanas. Oh, we disconnected, boys. Hold on tight. We're not going to exit. We're not going to, no commercial breaks, just hold on tight. Black screen, I know, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Hold on tight, boys. Wait for it, wait for it. We're gonna hop right back in. No commercial breaks, no nothing. Right back in. I don't know, we disconnected twice so far, so. Hold on. Right back in, right back in. No friends yet, it's busted, busted. Help, 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 help. We want nacanoob, yes, thank you. And we want sea lever. Right back in, fast as possible. Oh, is this? Oh, okay, okay. Damn. Is this the end? Yeah, he can end it. Looks like he has enough on. And there we go. Cool, nacanoob is winning with 21 life. So he just got his 5th win streak. Bam, there we go.